go in and touch this texture though, because this is gonna look bad. That's gonna look bad. Looks like she's got like a black eye. All right, so that's working. We gotta do the bottom lid now though, and then do the other eye. So let's do the same thing. Let's take out the keys. So what we're going to do is turn our joints back on. Let's go to show joints. Go back to our outliner. Make sure we can select the correct joint. Joint eyeball. No. Joint eyelid left upper. Let's go to 30. Let's delete this key. Let's go to frame 0. Delete this key. Now there's no keys, which is good. Now we're going to go to the eyelid left lower. And we can turn off our outliner. Set a key on 0. Go back to 30. Set a key. Hit E. Rotate this up a little bit. We may not need to rotate it this far when we're animating, but we just want to give it like the highest limit that we can think of for now. And we're going to do the same thing. So set a key. Let's go through our show button again. Hit joints to hide them. Let's go through each eyelash and just put this as 100% for now to the lower eyelid controller. Vertex. So we want to hit W. Let's select a vertice for each eyelash for now. We'll get these out the way first, and then we'll come back and conform them a little bit more to the eye once we are able to blink it from the bottom. So shift period. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go 100%. Go over to our skin joints, and we want to select our eyelid lower and click 1. There we go. That's pretty high up there. That's fine for now though. But now let's select this. We want this to be at 100%. This is that liquid layer. I never deleted it out of the model. It's great that it was modeled in there, but it's like that tear duct liquid area. So the eye looks wet. I've noticed that this has been added a lot more and more into models. I left it there just because I don't think I have a texture allotted to it or any specularity allotted to it. So we're going to just skin it because it is a part of the model. I don't want to delete it. I may want to have a use for it later. So, but that's fine for now. So let's go in and select the verts for it. And we're going to skin this 100% to the lower eyelid. So that's fine. We want to take this row and keep it at 100%, much like what we did for the upper eyelid. We're going to conform it a little bit after the fact, but for now, we want it to be 100%. So I'm just going through and selecting all those right quick. All right, good. So we want both of those to be 100% to the lower eyelid, and we'll do 1. Let's do these to be like a 0.5. 0.5, and let's do this one to have just like, we'll do this one as like a 0.1 or something. See how that looks. So we'll do a 0.1. Okay. This you might not need to do 0.12. So we'll leave that one to the head. All right, so let's scrub back down this way. You can have more influence down here on, you know, this row. It could be like a 0.001, point to keep going. So now what we want to do is we want to conform this to be a nice angle as well for the eye. The way we're going to do that, though, is we're going to blink the upper lid and then blink the lower lid and set keys on that, and then see how much we need to deform it. So we're back at frame 0. Let's go back to our outliner. Let's right click and go back to object mode. We want to look at the upper and lower right here. Eyelid upper, eyelid lower. So eyelid lower, let's go delete this key. It's too much. Let's stay on 30. Let's go to eyelid upper. Hit E for your rotation. Let's rotate this down as far as we want it to go and set a key. I think it looks good. Right there, set a key. So let's look at our lower. We want to rotate that up. We're right where it meets the eye. That actually works. We might need to look and see what's going on right here and adjust that, but doesn't look too bad going up there. And then we can probably conform that a little bit more. So let's go back here. We set keys. Oh man, we didn't set a key. We set a key on 0. Let's undo. Let's go back. Eyelid upper, eyelid lower. Select them both. Set a key on 0. And then let's go to 30. And then let's select eyelid upper. Let's rotate that down again to what we had. Set a key. Go to lower, set a key. Bring that up a little bit. Right where they touch. All right. Everything should have a key on it. So now if we go back, deselect everything. Now we can so what we need to adjust is, you see how there's like the highlight here from the contrasting, you know, pinker spot. If you scrub, you can see we're pinching that down to where it's like almost nothing. Again, that's a texture. It wasn't made for this, is what it looks like texture wise. So we can go and change that when we go in and change the eye. We'll go in and change that. But right now you can see that this wasn't really modeled to do this with the texture in mind. The model looks great still, but we need to make sure that the texture holds up when the model's moving. So let's go to our frame 30. I think what we're going to be able to do here is go back to our mesh, select our mesh, go back to vertice mode. We do need to address this here because that looks messy. So we're going to want to change that. Let's scrub back out and see why it's doing that. All right, so it's doing that because these bits here are not moving. Yep. So I think we want to put those onto the upper lid. So let's select that joint eyelid left upper, and let's give that to 0.2, and let's start. There you go. Start moving that down a little bit, and take this one from being selected. See what it looks like when we keep moving these down. Yeah, it looks good. Deselect this one. Where'd that other one go? Let's go back. Wait, where is it going? I don't see it moving. Oh, there it is. Ah, I see. We won't be able to see that one that well. We could probably leave this one to, well, not to the head. Let's see. If we scrub. No, we're not going to leave it to the head. Let's put this one back to the upper. Let's do a 0.5. Let's actually undo that by minusing it. I think that's what we want right there. So if we see it blinking, it still moves, but it doesn't go down as far. And then these actually blink pretty good. It's pretty clean. Now I didn't add this row of segments to it because it's kind of overkill, and I don't want it to look like it's the brow line right here is moving too much. That's gonna be better to go with the eyebrows. So there's one eye. Let's go back to object mode, deselect. So there's our blink. Oops, I hit X. Control Z. I don't think I had anything selected, so that's fine. So now we can go to our outliner. Let's select our eyeball, L. Let's set a key on that. I'm just playing around with the keys. Cool. So everything's working. So now you have to do the other eye. You should be able to follow this tutorial again in reverse to do the other eye. It's the exact same direction. Let's do the eyebrow since we are here. Let's delete our keys off of our eye, and we'll do the left eyebrow as well. So select your left eyeball and the left eyelid upper and lower. Go to frame 30. You can click and drag with shift. Go to delete and then delete our frame 0 because you don't want to have any keys on this. This is your referenced file. This is what your reference file will be. All right, so we got rid of all that. So for the eyebrows, what we want to do is we can close our outliner, select our mesh, go back to vertex, and we're going to do some broad strokes for now. We only have 3 controllers that we're going to use for the eyebrow, which if you look at the character, we have one here right on the front. We have one where that arch starts to appear, and then we have one at the very end, so we can get like a little bit of motion on the tail end of the eyebrow. So what we're going to do is going to be mostly a lot of blending between the 2 joints, but we're going to do some broad strokes right now and then move them around, and then we'll start to conform it. Now with this, we're going to want to have a little bit, since we're not going super cartoony with this, we want to have a little bit of the forehead in this so that the forehead is not super static. And then this other row of verts that we didn't use for the upper eyelid, we're going to actually incorporate that into this eyebrow work. It's going to be subtle, but enough so that when we get mad, we can bring it down to get that nice scowling, like that look of the eyebrows going in and down over the eye.